Hey guys, welcome back to another Reddit confession video. And I'm excited because today's confessions are unhinged and disturbing. As the title says, you can share your opinions in the comments section. Thank you guys for stopping by and please subscribe to the channel and turn the notification buttons for new videos. So let's dive into the unhinged Reddit confessions. First confession. Looking at pretty women fill me with weird emotions. No, this is not about something sexual. The feeling that I mostly get is like my heart weighing down and a weird feeling of both envy and anger. I am no way jealous of these girls. I don't wish them harm or give them an intentional bad eye. Every time I see someone pretty or someone who would be my BF's type, I'm filled with these emotions. It makes me feel like I'm just a placeholder. I know that there will always be someone prettier than me, and I'm not inherently ugly, but it just gets to me and I don't know how to get rid of it. Second confession, I did some things years ago that completely changed my sister-in-law life, and she has no idea it was because of me. I seriously need to get this off my chest because the guilt hits me randomly and hard. This is probably the biggest thing I've ever kept to myself. Years ago, before I even married her brother, my sister-in-law and I were not on good terms. She was always making little snide comments, trying to one-up me, acting like she was better than everyone. Honestly, she could be so cruel, and my husband didn't seem to notice half the time. Anyway, back then she was going after this dream job and couldn't stop talking about it. My husband was super excited for her, the whole family was rooting for her, but I couldn't stand her attitude. She had this way of making everyone feel small, and I'd had enough. Then I found out that the hiring manager was someone I actually knew, just a past coworker, nothing major. They reached out for additional personal references because they assumed we were close. And, well, I was bitter. So I gave a soft, negative impression. Nothing nasty, nothing fake, just enough to make them doubt her. I honestly thought it wouldn't matter. I figured she'd get the job anyway, but she didn't. She was crushed, cried for days, blamed herself. My husband tried to comfort her, and I just sat there pretending I had no idea. Everyone thought the company just went in a different direction. But I knew. I knew I had played a part. Now, years later, I'm married to her brother. She's calmer, treats me better than before, and sometimes we even laugh together. And she has no idea I'm the reason she didn't get that job that could have completely changed her career path. Honestly, the guilt hits me way harder now than it did back then. I think about how her life might have gone differently if I'd just stayed quiet. No one knows. Not my husband, not her, not anyone. It's my secret. And yeah, it's been sitting in my chest for years. Third confession. I can't stop thinking about my coworker. I met this guy at a team building event where everyone was drinking. He's my coworker, and that night he opened up to me in a way I've never experienced before. He told me he liked me, that he found me beautiful, and then said things about my personality that nobody ever notices, that I have a pure heart, that I can't think badly about anyone, that I'm a giver. It didn't even hit me until the next morning how deeply he had seen me. I also saw something in him that night. Pain. Real pain. He had gone through a breakup, and I could see the sadness in his eyes, like something inside him had shattered. And I did nothing in that moment. I was drunk and didn't realize what was happening in real time. The next morning, everything changed. He was completely professional, almost cold. I told him later that the way he whispered into my ear that night was hot. It was loud in there. And he just ignored it. He only said he liked meeting me and my boss. Since that day, I can't get him out of my mind. It feels like I connected with a version of him that I'll never see again. I know it sounds crazy, but I felt something eternal with him. Not romantic even, just a soul connection. Like we were supposed to cross paths. I can't forget his face from that night, the sadness in his eyes. I felt like I knew him deeply, even though I actually met him once. And now at work, he feels like a stranger. A version of himself that's hidden behind professionalism and walls. I cry almost every day because I feel like I missed my chance to truly see him, to ask him what he was going through, to be there for him. I wasn't selfish, I was just drunk, but my mind keeps replaying everything I didn't do. And the worst part is, I feel like the person I connected with, the real him, is gone. And the person at work is just a mask. I don't want to date him or cross boundaries. I don't even want anything from him. I just wish I could acknowledge what happened. I wish he would look at me and just say, yeah, that night was real. Instead, it's like it didn't happen at all. I don't know how to get over a connection that wasn't even a relationship. Wasn't even a conversation sober, like, but it felt like fate. And now I'm stuck with this feeling alone. I don't know what to do anymore. I just needed to get this out. Fourth confession. It's my 19th birthday today, but no one ever remembers. Today I turned 19. Every year my birthday just slips by unnoticed. Even my family barely remembers. I try not to let it bother me, but it gets really lonely pretending it's just another day. I guess I just wanted to get this off my chest. If anyone feels like saying happy birthday, I'd really appreciate it. Even just a quick DM would honestly mean a lot. Fifth confession. Made up a fake alien conspiracy theory when I was a teenager that went viral. I've only told this to a few people, but I think it's a funny story, so I'm posting it here. It's not as salacious as some of the other posts here, but here goes. When I was a teenager in the early 2000s, I made a website and invented a conspiracy theory. We, friend and I, went to a local business that was out in the country away from the town I lived in and photographed some keep out signs and whatnot, and implied that the business was actually a secret underground government base that harbored aliens and whatnot. That was the gist of it, that it was a secret underground base, the type you could read about in the early 2000s conspiracy message boards. Aliens, reptilians, recovered UFOs and whatnot, but included actual photos of the location. Thing is, I used my real initials and part of my real last name as the author. Years later, a friend forwarded me an email chain and asked me if it was me that wrote it. It had literally hundreds of other emails attached and had been forwarded many, many times if you recall how those massive email chain threads were shared back then. Hilarious because I had essentially made the website and forgot about it, but over the years had been seen by thousands of people at least. I have always been a little embarrassed about this, but also a little bit proud of that. Sixth confession. I am very close to my stepdaughter, and this may be an issue. My stepdaughter 20 Yef had been seeing a boy for 2 months or more. It's not an ideal situation, but I am here for her. Her father, 49 Namik, said, if she doesn't walk away, he won't speak to her anymore. I'm sorry, what? This is your kid. She told me everything going on. I empowered her as much as I could and let her make her own decisions. But turn your back. Maybe that's why she tells me everything. What do I do? Pielanishi hates her mom. Seventh confession, the baby I had when I was 13 was raised as my brother. Eighth confession, I am 30F, married and straight, but I absolutely love to watch gay porn. Regular porn does nothing for me anymore. The more the men, the better. 10th confession, I paid a fortune teller to potential lie to my wife about that we compatible I'm white. Now husband to an Asian girl. Both she and her family are superstitious, and they told her she has to go and see if we are an astrological match based on Chinese astrology. I'm a person that is very rational and doesn't like to leave things to chance. We had already been dating for a year and things were getting serious when the topic came up. By that time, I was already deeply emotionally invested in this relationship, and when I began to realize that for her, the astrological match was a potential deal breaker, I panicked and knew I could not just gamble on it working or not. So I told her we will go to Chinatown and see a fortune teller. I'm sure there are more sophisticated words for them, but honestly, I don't care much for them or their profession. The day before, I secretly went to Chinatown, met a fortune teller with a good reputation, and paid her $400 to tell my now wife that our astrology and whatnot is perfectly compatible. The next day, we went to said fortune teller, and she did as asked. Even printed out some report sheet that details why we are such a great match. I am happily married now, our first child is on the way, and I have zero regrets. 11th confession. My 16-year-old son is the biggest asshole I know. I kind of hate him right now. Subscribe for more confession. More.